The 2024 primary is heating up as Donald Trump is bringing new attacks against Ron DeSantis. Now, a lot of people are saying that it's uncalled for, but is it really, or is this just politics in action? I'll give you my thoughts. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Vince Dow here. Be sure to like and subscribe if you are new. So today, Donald Trump released this Truth Social about Ron DeSantis. Everyone in our circles has an opinion. I'll give you mine in a second, but let's read it first so that we can establish it, okay? From Donald Trump, the Club for No Growth is a globalist group that I have been taking to the cleaners for years. And this is true, by the way. Club for Growth did a few decent endorsements in 2022, but overall, it is a globalist, free trade, libertarian think tank. Okay, we continue. We worked together for a period, but they couldn't get away from China, Europe, Asia, and parts unknown. And this, again, is true. As we know, Donald Trump was big on fixing the trade deals. He was a nationalist. Club for Growth was constantly like, no, free trade is good, So this is true. Ron DeSantis, who I made governor in both the primary and the general, is also a globalist, and so are his donors. Jeb Low Energy Bush was next to him last week. Check the past. And then he follows up here. The revelations about Ron DeSantis doing far worse than many other Republican governors, including that he was unapologetically shutting down Florida and its beaches, was interesting indeed. Donald J. Trump leading big. All right, here's my thing. Think what you will of Trump, DeSantis, whoever. I get it. Most of us like both of them, and that's why this hurts. I understand. I empathize. It doesn't feel good to watch it, but folks, can we stop pretending as if we don't know why this is happening? Like, I've heard almost every Republican voter say, why is he doing this? This is so wrong. Can you just attack the Democrats? Like, folks, why do you think? Because Ron DeSantis is going to run for president. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is very, very obvious. And if you're still in denial about that, I think you're just wrong, honestly. Like, it's happening. Between the rumblings we've been hearing on the inside and the outside, and just the telltale signs, there is not a serious person in politics who thinks he's going to sit this out. Okay? If I'm wrong, I'll eat those words. Okay? I will. But I will also say to people who are so convinced Ron DeSantis isn't going to run, like, who actually are you? With all due respect, like, you don't know what Donald Trump knows. You don't know what most of the political insiders in both camps know. Donald Trump has a reason to believe Ron DeSantis is going to run, and I agree with him on that. But again, maybe we'll be wrong. But assuming for argument's sake that it is true, Ron DeSantis is going to run, it then comes down to, like, why would Donald Trump attack his top primary challenger? Why do you think? Because that's his top primary challenger. Is Donald Trump just not supposed to engage in politics now? Again, whether you support Trump or DeSantis or you're undecided, why are we confused by what's happening? I don't think it's good faith whatsoever to suggest that Donald Trump isn't allowed to participate in politics. This is politics. If you can't handle that emotionally, I don't know what you're doing. This is Donald Trump doing politics. And I will say this. People always say I'm a Trump cultist. People say I defend everything he does. I'm blind, naive, whatever. But there are a lot of good faith, genuine concerns that I do have about Trump right now. Okay? I will say that. I don't like him getting behind McCarthy or McDaniel. This week, he appointed Lindsey Graham to his leadership team, and I'm like, what are you doing? I hate that.
And a friend of mine for a long time. We don't always agree, but that's okay, too. But he's a great guy, a great politician, actually, and a terrific person who loves the estate, Senator Lindsey Graham. Thank you, Lindsey. Thank you.
I have concerns about the fact that he has said some things that, agree with them or not, were controversial enough among the base to distract from many of the good things he's been proposing, such as the big tech legislation, the anti-crime stuff, the education reform. Have you heard about any of those? You haven't, because nobody wants to talk about it. That's an issue. And so to say that because I also have skepticisms of DeSantis means that I just refuse to see Trump's flaws is asinine. But one thing I am not willing to accept is the idea that Donald Trump now just isn't allowed to attack political rivals, his soon-to-be competition. On that, I will say, what do you expect? It just seems that there's this Republican Trump derangement syndrome nowadays where we just get mad at everything he does without even thinking about it. And I will say this. Again, I love DeSantis, but the criticisms that Trump laid out are all basically true. And sure, Trump surrounds himself with establishment people too, I get it, but DeSantis is backed by Club for Growth, National Review, Jeb Bush, and basically the entire GOP donor class. That should concern you. Now, Ron DeSantis overall was probably the best governor on the COVID stuff in general, but it is true that in the early days of 2020, there were Republican governors who opened sooner than him or didn't lock down at all. He does not have a perfect record on that either. Where I will give DeSantis credit, and this is the issue, this is why most people don't realize these things, is that he is a much wiser political navigator on these issues than Trump. That is true. Because when you go back and look at the political record, the hard political positions of Trump and DeSantis on lockdowns, the jab, everything are nearly identical. But Ron DeSantis navigated it better politically. That is true. DeSantis didn't go around saying, you know what, as much. He crafted his public image as the pro-medical freedom guy while Trump was shilling, you know what. And that's how we remember him. The same is true of the establishment actors, because DeSantis talks to just as many establishment people, probably a lot more, but he doesn't go around touting them as public allies like Trump. And when the opportunity came, he rallied against Romney McDaniel for the RNC because he knew it would make him seem more anti-establishment than Trump. And we can look at that and accuse him of just being strategic, but most voters are going to take that stuff at face value, even on the Trump stuff. Look, like I said, I don't think there's an issue with Trump attacking DeSantis, but Ron knows that most voters think so. And that's why, despite the fact that he's been plotting to run for a year now, he gets to go into this, saying Trump has been launching unprovoked political attacks against him. He looks like the victim. It is very smart. It's very smart. I acknowledge that. And I think that's something that could make him a serious political threat to Trump. It's not that he's different on this stuff necessarily, but he understands the base better. Ron DeSantis arguably understands Trump's base better than Trump right now. At least that's the way I see it. I'm sure a lot of you might just believe him at face value, and that's fine. I would just say, let the true primary competition kick off before you're totally sold on that. Okay? And sure, we can say the same about Trump. I think that's fair. But DeSantis's name hasn't been drugged through the mud like Trump's yet. And I don't know if the DeSantis camp will be so enthused with him by the end of that. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying maybe wait and see if that's where you really stand. Regardless, it's going to be a pretty divisive primary. I can already tell. You know, I question whether our party will even be united enough by the end of it to win in 2024 at all. But, you know, let's not say that right now, okay? Positive thoughts only. But, yeah. Let me know what you think about this, guys, but that's where I stand. I think this is natural competition. I think this is just politics, but let me know. All right, be sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Turn on post notifications. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. And until next time, folks, Alpha Moves only. God bless and peace.